All right. I'm so excited, Jill, to have you on my very first client interview. This is awesome. And it's perfect to have you be one of the first that comes on and talks about your story because your story has been absolutely incredible. And I've loved every second that you've been in the program. And we're at 10 weeks now. And so many amazing changes have happened. And I don't want to be the one to share it. I think that you should because this is your celebratory moment to take the stage and talk about it. So, the first question I have is what changes have you noticed since you started in the program?
So since starting, it's definitely a nutrition, weight loss, health, wellness type of program. So the obvious is I've noticed some changes to my body, regaining strength that I feel that I've lost with becoming a mom and age and all the things. So that was one of my goals in this is to try and get some strength back and get back to a more lean and strong body. Notice that. And just with the health, wellness, nutrition side of things, I've noticed um, it's not an easy thing for me, the nutrition part, but it's been a great learning curve. And I'm getting there. I continue to work on it, but just switching to clean eating and the whole foods and like getting rid of some of the things that I probably indulged in a little too much. Won't say that I don't still dabble here and there, but I don't use those as like the majority of my diet. And just changing that kind of behavior, I've noticed aches and pains going away. Inflammation is definitely down. The typical like bloating and uncomfortableness goes away. Um, but I struggle with some different past injuries and things that cause some aches and pains here and there. And those I've noticed have decreased a lot. And then that makes me able to work out harder and more and enjoy that more too, because I'm not as sore or in pain while I'm doing it, which all of that is great. And then the I think the cherry on the cake is the overall well-being and the mental changing that's happened in this program. Um, I kind of I obviously signed up for like the physical changes that I wanted to see, but I
Mhm.
knew the emotional and the mental and that side of things was going to be the bigger goal for me. And like you said, I'm 10 weeks in of this now 19-week program. When I first signed up, we were at 16, and then you added some really cool activities. I don't even know what you call them, but other
Yeah.
tools that you've used with all of us that I would say those are the biggest key points that I've noticed, like quick changes and very obvious changes. And I always get these wrong. Is it MPR and NEL?
Close. NLP and MER. Yeah.
It's a whole bunch of acronyms, letters.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yes.
I need to know it. You just do it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So those, I've noticed a lot of changes with just letting go of a lot of limiting beliefs, as you call them, that hold me back in old habits and things that aren't healthy physically, but also aren't healthy mentally and emotionally. And so um, that's been a huge change. And then also the modules that you have incorporated in your program that we get to watch and every week. And it's like, I do well with tasks and checklists. And so having these modules that I work my way through and homework to go with them um, makes me feel accomplished and good. And then when I'm getting really good positive outcomes from it too, is just it's incredible. So I've loved working through those. And then I've told you this before, I always feel like the way you laid out the program, you can tell that your heart and soul went into it and you did it yourself before using it on clients because it's laid out in a way that each week the module hits exactly where I am in the journey. And it's like I uncover something new and I'm struggling, I hit a wall, and then the module just addresses it. And I'm like, how did you know I needed to hear that? So that's what I love is not a cookie cutter. You laid it out knowing that most people are going to go through the process in a pretty similar pattern. And so it helps us get through those obstacles and those steps. And then when we hit one that we're not expecting, you're always right there to respond and reach out to. So I appreciate that too.
Awesome. Thank you. I love it. You answered my next question in so many different ways. So thank you. Which just brings me to another question of asking, like, what about your transformation that you've had so far in 10 weeks, knowing that you've got 9 more weeks to go? Like, what's the transformation right now so far that you love the most that's happened for you?
Um, so I'll share openly that I've dealt with anxiety most of my life. And that's a huge piece that I wanted to get some change in that area, was reduce the anxiety and have more good days than not good days. I know there's
Mhm.
always going to be not good days. That's just life and being human, but I want
Yeah,
the balance to shift and make it where I'm feeling joy and gratitude more days than the other stuff. And so I've already started to see that shift. And that is kind of scary in a way, but also I have these moments where I truly feel lighter and joyful, and I'm grateful for it. Even though the old self is still trying to pull me back and go, yeah, but I know that I'm making strides and I'm not done. And that's what feels good, is it's working and I'm going to get there.
that's awesome. And before we started the interview, we talked about like the halfway point is you're in the middle and it's a different experience. It's a change. You likely feel in a way that you don't ever remember feeling. And that brings about a lot of uncertainty because you feel like you're leaving your old self behind and picking up a new self moving forward. And in reality, you are who you are, and who's coming forth is who your authentic self is, and who's always been waiting for you to envelope with love and acceptance and to allow you to be you in life. And that's what's happening now. So as you continue to go through the program, as you said, each of those weeks, it's just going to build from this week to the next. And it's laid out on purpose because I know that as you step into your authentic self, as you learn to love yourself and appreciate yourself, new obstacles come into play with it. And what you're experiencing now is exactly where you should be. And what you're experiencing is exactly what I anticipate you to experience. And so as we continue to climb up and out of this valley, you're going to find that each step you take only builds and strengthens the love that you have for yourself, the worth that you have for yourself. And that's going to bring you to the very top of the mountain where you will fully encompass yourself with love and acceptance and appreciation. And that's when I know, when you get to that point, always makes me emotional because that's when I know that you're ready. You're ready to fly the coop. You're ready to continue to go on. And that's where the sustainability has been created. And you're ready to move forward and keep these results permanently for yourself moving forward. Awesome. Any last things that you would want to share with anybody else that maybe are considering hopping into the program or reaching out to learn more? Anything that you would want to say to those women?
Um, I think when I made the call, it was interesting because, like, Tara, you and I have known each other since we were little girls. So we grew up in the same community, knowing each other, go to school together, all that stuff. And I've watched you on your journey on social media and just followed all of your posts, and they're always so inspiring. And I love reading them. And I was back and forth literally for years. Like,
Mm,
should I call Tara? No. And this is part of the beginning steps, is like, no, there's women who deserve a spot more than me. I should be able to do this myself. What am I even thinking? Why would I take up Tara's time? Why would I take a spot in her program when someone else could benefit more? Blah, blah, blah. And when I remember the post that you made, it was about being a mom and a woman, and just all the strings that get pulled in every direction, and thinking you need to do it all and be perfect at
mm.
everything. And it finally kicked me right where it needed to and was like, just make the call. And so I did, and I set it up. And like, I'm so, so incredibly happy that I did. And I knew before 5 minutes into the conversation, I was like, sign me up. Just sign me up. Just get to the end and sign me up. I'm ready. So I think if anybody's even kicking tires, considering if something's ever been sparked in you by reading one of your posts or anything on your page, to just make the call. You don't have to commit to anything, even with the call, but it can definitely give you some insight or some perspective on what your next step should be. And I think it's worth it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being willing to do this interview and to help other women to just learn from you and your experience, but also taking time to celebrate you because you deserve to be celebrated. You've had some incredible transformations with your body, the weight loss, the strength training, but more than anything, I think that inspires me the most about your journey so far is just the mindset shifting and how you're shifting from the inside. And that's changing how you show up every single day as a wife, as a mom, but most important as you, like how you're showing up for yourself. That's the most inspiring thing that I see every single day that I get to watch you in this journey. So thank you for being you and being here.
Thank you.